Hi everybody, so I'm making another video. This one's kind of hard for me to make, but because it has to do with my brother, and I'm going to try not to cry. But it's a really beautiful story and it's worth sharing, so hopefully you'll stick with me through it and listen to the whole thing because I think it's worth listening to. Anyway, so I grew up with 3 siblings who had cystic fibrosis and who were pretty significantly ill through a lot of their lifetime. Mile died when he was 5 years old. He was the oldest of the sibling of the family, and I was about 3 when he died, so I barely remember him. I remember loving him. That's and he's adorable. Anyway, so Marlon, who is a year older than me, redhead, a lot of redheads in the family, and in the 70s, he permed his hair. There was a lot of perms happening in the 70s. So he had long, curly red hair. Anyway, he was a mentor for me, and he really taught me a lot. So Marlon, he was really angry. He was a really angry kid, and he grew up angry, but he was also funny. He had his moments where he was funny and interesting and all that, but he was mostly angry, and he didn't understand why he had this disease. He was pissed about it, and he didn't understand why he got picked on, and yeah, that's not fair. Anyway, he growing up with him, well, he was the only boy at that point, so after Mile died, so and the girls kind of took over. There was a lot of girls in the house, so anyway, it's a lot of female energy. So he felt like he didn't get much support. And well, none of us really did. None of us got support. We were all struggling. There was a lot of fighting. Anyway, at some point in his life, there were a lot of fights in the house and a lot of chaos, and it was an incredibly difficult time to get through. For all of us. And there were many reasons for that. Don't need to get into that now. But he got really, really sick. At some point he got really, really sick, and he ended up in the hospital. He was about 19 years old when this happened. And he was really depressed. He was going through a phase where he wanted to kill himself. He told me about this. He wanted to run into an embankment and just end it all. And happily, he did not do that. But he ended up in the hospital with this depression and with being sick with cystic fibrosis. It's probably had pneumonia, because that happened a lot. Anyway, he at this time in the hospital, he really hated his life, and he was really, really depressed, and he really didn't see the purpose in life and why he was still alive even. Well, in the hospital room, there was a kid who was a vegetable, who's basically just, alive, but can't eat, can't drink, can't open eyes, nothing. This kid was, that's what they called it back then, a vegetable. And Marlon, after being laying next to him in this hospital room, realized that he actually did have something to live for. That seeing this kid laying there in the bed, he realized that he wasn't as bad off as he had thought, and that he could eat, he could sleep, he could move, he could walk still. He had a disease, but he still had his life. And being in that hospital room with this kid changed his life, and he decided that he actually had something to live for and that he could be happy. And that was this moment when he really shifted out of this feeling sorry for himself and being depressed, and decided, hey, I can be happy. I can find a way to live and squeeze every moment out of life and really enjoy it. And that's what he did. He decided that he wanted to be a photographer, and he went and got a Leica camera and ran around taking tons of pictures. He had friends who took him to Canyonlands in Moab, Utah, right around Moab, Utah. And they would take him camping, and he would meditate on top of rocks and imagine himself being outside of his body and flying. And he read Carlos Castaneda. In fact, he introduced me to Carlos Castaneda and all those books. That there's more to life than just these physical bodies that we have. He also when he went camping with his friends in Canyonlands, he would open his camera. He had slides in there, so slide film, and he would keep the exposure open, and he would take pictures of the night sky and the stars traveling across the sky. He took tons of those photographs, tons of pictures of that, just beautiful, in the Milky Way, and just that beautiful vastness of life that we experience. He decided he wanted to play flamenco guitar, and he bought a guitar and learned how to play flamenco guitar. He didn't do a great job of it. It didn't matter. It's what he wanted to do. And he also moved out. He had a group of friends, and most of them were from the hospital, the nurses, it was really a group of nurses from the hospital that he became friends with. He moved out with one of the nurses and her husband, and he was some sort of martial art master. I can't remember what kind of martial art it was, but he took Qigong, Tai Chi, all this stuff. I mean, he decided to live his life and embrace his life and really enjoy it. And he really surrounded himself with a group of people who were so loving, because we didn't have that. We didn't have that at home. Not even close to anything loving. I mean, there was love there, but it was hidden beneath all this other stuff. So he found a way to surround himself with people who were kind and loving and generous with their time, with their actions. And he blossomed through that time period. And he taught me, this is the gift that he gave me, one of them. He taught me that I could change my life, that no matter what physical circumstances, mental, emotional circumstances, there's within you, there is the power to decide to live your life differently and start taking action and be happy and embrace your life and love it. He taught me that because I was a mess. I was, oh my God, especially around 19 and 20, I was not in good shape, and that's another story to tell, but he helped me to realize that I could change my life also. So you can too. I've seen it, I've experienced it myself, and I saw him do it. So we can do that. You can enjoy your life and live the life that you want. It is so possible. Anyway, get on with the story. So a couple years later, it was about 3 years later, so he lived this beautiful life for about 3 years. And then after that, he started getting really sick again. And I had a dream, actually, that he was going to die. And this dream was on my 21st birthday, so you don't forget things like that. I woke up in the morning with this dream, and the dream was that I saw him. So we were flying. We were in downtown Murray, Utah. It's a suburb of Salt Lake, and we were flying. We were holding hands and laughing and giggling and flying through the air and just having so much fun and just like, this is amazing and great. And then all of a sudden I'm in Denny's. There was a Denny's on State Street, around 45th Street, right there. I was in Denny's and he wasn't there with me, and I was panicked and running around looking for him, going, "Where's Marlon? Where's Marlon? Oh my God, where's Marlon?" And then I looked at the door and I saw Mile. Mile is the brother that died when he was 5. He was standing at the door, and he looked like that 5-year-old. He's standing there at the door, and I went, oh, that's when I knew. Mile had come to take him with him. And I woke up out of that dream and I cried my eyes out for a couple hours and knew that that was my warning dream, and to help get me prepared for what was going to happen. Anyway, so in April, so that was in December, and then in April, we got word again that Marlon was really sick, and this might be it. He was sick for a longer period of time, and looked like this might be it. So we all, sort of created this really wonderful vigil around him and showed up every single night. Some people were always there during the day, just being there with him and showing him love and appreciation. And at some point, it was absolutely beautiful. And the night before he died, somebody brought a slide projector in, and we watched all of his we looked at all of his beautiful photographs that were projected out onto the room, the hospital room, with these beautiful beautiful night sky. I don't want to cry. These beautiful photographs of stars moving across the sky and the Milky Way, and just incredible. And somebody showed up with a guitar and was playing guitar and singing, and it was such a special kind of send-off of love. Anyway, so it was my turn to say goodbye to him. And so and of course I was in and out of the room all the time, and I would go outside and bawl my eyes out and then try and pull myself together and come back in and try not to cry. And anyway, so so it's my turn to sit with him, and I don't know what to say to him, really. And he said to me, "I'm going to fight for every breath that I take. I'm going to fight to live as long as I can." And what do you say to that? You nod your head and go, "Yeah, okay." Because that's what you want to. Anyway, so he asked me to brush his hair for him, and I brushed his hair for him, and it just kind of knocked down any barriers that were in the way of communication, even though we said very, very little. And at some point I just sat there and held his hand, and I just felt this immense, profound love, just so much love for him. And as I'm feeling this love, and the thing is about feeling this love, there was no agenda, there was no trying to be anything, there was no trying to change anything or make anything different. It was just me and him, and of course there are other people around, but just us. And I'm holding his hand, and there's just love. And as I'm holding his hand and I'm feeling this love, and I'm sure he was feeling it too, I was looking at my hand, and my hand began to turn this golden color, this golden light, these like golden particles of light going through my hand and through my body and up through my whole body and through his body and through his hand and his body. And then the golden light went through all the chairs and through the tables and the bed, and everything was filled with this golden light. And even the particles of air were filled with these golden particles of light. Everything was light. And as I sat there, the more love and the brighter and lighter the room got. It was stunningly beautiful. And I felt such an incredible amount of profound love at that moment. And as I was feeling that and experiencing it, what came to me, my perception was that this is love, that this energy, this light is love, and that this is the construct of everything in life. This is what the air is made of. This is what our bodies are made of. This is what the universe is made of, is this light. And what that light is love, the energy of love. There is nothing outside of that we are love. There is nothing outside of love. We are created from love. We are sparks. We are more than sparks. We are more than sparks of God. We are part of the creation, which is this love. It is the structure of life, is love. And that there is nothing outside of this energy. There is just love. And the energy that has created this creation, which is what we are, it's what you are. And the only thing that keeps us from that is our own constructs, our own belief systems that have separated us from experiencing and knowing this. We are love. There is nothing outside of love. There is only love. So if you can find a way to remember what love is, and then build a bridge from your heart to whatever else it is you love, and create more love in your life, like expand that love and bring it into everything that you are. So what did I learn from Marlon? That you are love, that we are love, that there is nothing outside of that, that it is the structure from which we are made. And we have to get back to that. And also, the greatest gift that he gave me was helping me to know that I can change my life, that I can be happy, that no matter what you're going through, no matter what kind of physical limitations that you have, no matter what kind of problems you are, you can decide within yourself to change the circumstances that you live in and be happy. You can be happy. You can change your life, and that you are love. And that's it. And I hope you get something from this story. I can't believe I didn't cry, because I've tried to make this video like 4 times now and I keep crying. So I guess I said it enough. I got some tears out. Anyway, I just wanted to share that story with you because I think that it's worth sharing. Because we all need to remember, because we all get stuck in stuff. We all get stuck in stuff. But if we can remember that we can change that and we can be happy, that there is that spark within you that is divine and that is love, and that you have more power than you realize that you do, and that you can change your life. You absolutely can change it and heal your life. That's it. Anyway, that's it for now. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and let me know what you think of this story. All right. Bye for now.